Keeping documents on Americans accused of serving as, quote, vectors of disinformation. Secretary of State Marco Rubio sharing the revelation during Wednesday's cabinet meeting, adding someone at the table had a file included in the documents. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris, joins us. Jeff, Rubio pointed towards an office within the Biden administration compiling these documents. What more can you tell us about that?
So Rubio appeared to be referring to an office within the State Department previously known as the Global Engagement Center, Didi, telling cabinet members under the Biden administration the center monitored Americans' commentary and social media to identify disinformation. Secretary of State Marco Rubio sharing a surprising revelation during Wednesday's cabinet meeting.
We had an office in the Department of State whose job it was to censor Americans.
Rubio says the Biden administration's State Department kept dossiers on Americans accused of being, quote, vectors of disinformation.
The Department of State of the United States had set up an office to monitor the social media posts and commentary of American citizens.
Adding the documents included a file on an unidentified Trump administration official.
By the way, I'm not going to say who it is. I'll leave it up to them. There's at least one person at this table today who had a dossier in that building.
Madeline Somerville, an attorney and political analyst, says these documents will get turned over to the Americans they belong to, but all we know right now is that their speech was being tracked.
We don't know for how long. We don't know on what platforms. We don't know whether it was just political speech or whether it was related to something else.
Which is why she believes more information is needed before calling it government overreach.
There's no rule against a government official going on people's public Facebooks and looking at what they're saying.
But Rubio is claiming the opposite, pointing toward censorship.
When we know that the best way to combat disinformation is freedom of speech and transparency.
Now, after Rubio's revelation, Vice President J.D. Vance jokingly chimed in, asking if the official being monitored was either him or Elon Musk, but the White House has not released any additional information on who that person is. Reporting for the National News Desk, I'm Jeff Harris.